boost fuel, and we're cooking. So now we're watching is the MTT, that's the monitor gas temperature. It can go all the way up to 927 degrees on startup, but if it gets anywhere close to that, you know, and it's approaching it at a rapid rate, you know something's wrong. You don't have enough battery, the engine was too hot before, something like that, and you kill it. Kids get on this, they're like, oh yes, I can hear myself. It's official now. pulling in some power, so you're going to feel us get light on the skids.
That's me on.
And we're going to flow right off.
That's me on. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
And away we go.
Oh my goodness.
At first takeoff's always fun from the parking lot because you get to do a max performance takeoff. So straight up in the air for about 75
Oh my
feet.
gosh, my stomach is like...
It's that float.
Baby, we haven't even started yet.
Now we're going to feel a little ups and downs, a little bit of side to side. That's perfectly normal. That's just the air surface heating up and causing a little convection, that upward movement of air. All right, down below us you can see one of the two zip lines here at the Royal Gorge. This is the classic course. They also have the extreme course over on the west end, and that one just gets you up a little higher, gets you moving a little faster. All right, here we are, just a couple hundred feet above the ground, cruising at 80 knots. Now out in front of us you can see the entire north burn scar from the Royal Gorge fire. And this is the fire that took place here just June of 2013, so not that long ago. It only burned 3,000 acres between the south side and the north side, but it did take down 48 out of 52 buildings they had over at the park by the bridge. So the bridge itself was okay. They had to take all of 2014, rebuild the park, but now we have a brand new park and still the same old bridge. So I think in the long run they're going to be a lot better. A lot better off. They were in bad need of an upgrade. Because it was still the original buildings from the 30s and the 40s. So some people didn't want to tear them down because they were calling them historic. Other people said no, they're just old. And finally the fire just made that decision for everyone. Fremont County traffic, helicopter 383 Golf Golf performing low-level maneuvers over the Royal Gorge, 7,500 and below Fremont County.
Oh my gosh, it's so
Fire
deep.
over there. It is, yeah, all the way into about 1,300 feet down to the water here. And as we climb out over, you're going to start to see this beautiful red glow. That's all rose granite, or some people call it Pikes Peak granite because it's that same tone you guys saw up on Pikes Peak. And then it just intensifies all the way towards the bridge. So we're going to go run down the south rim, do a nice little left-hand turn, run up and through and out of the south rim.
Oh, look at the Royal Gorge there.
And we'll get a closer look at the bridge.
Okay, hey! Okay. Is this okay?
There's the Arkansas River down in the bottom. Right now the river's flowing right about 300 cubic feet per second. So it's after the point where they shut it down for the summer for agricultural rights upstream. So it comes from Twin Lakes. That's the first reservoir that they release out of. And after August 15th, that's when they start reserving some of that water for watering farms and livestock upslope. So really between May and August 15th is a really good time to be in here and raft. It's still raftable now, it's just more of a lazy river than a whitewater stream.
Through the active at Alpha 3 Fremont.
Alright, out in front of us here is the top of Fremont Peak, and also off there in the distance is Pikes Peak from the south slope. So where you guys made your final ascent up was on this side here, to the top. Okay. Alright, now we're going to continue in here east to west. Now what's really great about these mornings when you have some high cloud cover, it filters out a lot of that direct sunlight, just like you put a filter on a camera, and it creates this nice bold glowing effect, and it also lets a lot of the designs in the canyon wall kind of come out. Like these swirls over here usually aren't visible because they're in shadows all morning. Okay. You guys really picked a great day to come fly. One of my favorite rocks is this black slab of granite there, a little white lightning bolt through it. I think starts out white, but then it ends up red. Wow. Incredible color change. Alright, now we're going to go climb out of the south rim. You guys have not been to the bridge yet, correct? No. Alright. Well, the bridge there sits at 955 feet over the Arkansas River. And at 955 feet, it was the tallest suspension bridge in the world from 1929 when it was constructed all the way through 2001. So it had a really long stand at number one because of how deep yet how narrow this gap actually is. Now it's down into the top 20 in the world, but still the tallest in North America. Pretty cool to have here in southern Colorado. And we're going to head right in over the visitor center. We'll do a nice left-hand orbit. Then we'll cruise down to the west end, come back, and do a right-hand orbit. There's a good look top side on the bridge, so you can see still suspended frame.
with a wood planking system that makes up the decking surface there. Now, it was always intended to be a tourist attraction, not a main highway, because this gorge is only 10 miles long from east to west, so no practical reason to bridge the gap. But as recent as 3 years ago, you're actually able to drive your own car across it. You just pay a toll and drive across. I think they changed insurance, and that's what changed there.
Hey babe, I just saw the train down in the canyon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in the gorge.
Hey!
Alright, we're going to increase our turn here to 45 degrees. It seems much deeper than 45 degrees in this aircraft because of the visibility. Alright, yeah, overfly the train, and as we cross these ridge lines, beautiful view. It really gives you a perspective of how sharply they formed. They've almost taken the dike formation. Alright, now we're descending about 1,500 feet per minute. We're going to get all the way back down over the south rim here and head over to the west end. So here's the really rapid part of the river if you do whitewater rafting too here.
Oh, rafting, look, oh my gosh.
Right now just class 2, a couple of class 3 rapids maybe, but it's all class 3 and class 4s from mid-May through mid-June. That's the high point of the rafting season, when all the snow's melting off at once. Get the water rushing down here consistently between 2,500 and 3,500 cubic feet per second. So it gets a little trickier to raft here. You have to go around a lot of rocks. Sometimes in the later part of the day, once the flows come down a little bit from the storms maybe overnight, you actually have to pick your raft up and walk through sections. Alright, now we're out over the Parkdale Canyon fire burn scar. Over to our right, this one burned down a couple of structures, about 800 acres of forest. Same kind of just starting up some wildfire. The interesting part about this one is it actually started from the train. It was actually the engine on the tour train. They were pushing it coming up through here. It didn't have a spark arrestor, so it started little fires all the way along through here. So now, if you see it during the fire season, it's always followed by a little water truck. Alright, now we're going to get turned back around and head in from the west to the east, which is my favorite view of the bridge in the gorge. We'll go run up the south rim, cross over the mouth of the gorge, and do a nice right-hand orbit. Some more rafters heading down.
Okay, I help you, come on.
What do you guys think of the Robinson helicopter so far?
It's okay,
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really great ride for scenic tours. Alright, from here you get a really good perspective on how this Royal Gorge fire burned. It started right off the
that's so beautiful.
county road here, and then just kind of stayed right in the wind direction. So you see it's just like one straight scar, right from the southwest to the northeast.
Oh my gosh, look at the bridge from here.
It turned out to be a pretty favorable wind direction, because if it was any further south to north, which happens a lot here, all these homes would have been in danger. So, you know, rather take the city property in the park than, you know, people's properties over here in their homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, love this view, but as we come over across the mouth, you're going to see even better view. Now over to our left, that little overlook, that used to be part of Buckskin Joe's. That was here last time you were here. It was an old West town, replica town that they use in a lot of the old Western movies. Well, the Koch brothers decided they needed the whole thing because they collect Old West memorabilia, and they moved the entire thing out to their ranch over by Aspen. So it's still around, but I think the plan now is to maybe build another replica, so a replica of a replica. Off to the right here, here's my favorite view, coming across and up this side. There's a really awesome dike you can see down here. Very, very sharp.
So speaking of old Western towns and old West movies and stuff like that, I was in the first 2 episodes of HBO's Deadwood.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll show you some pictures when we get back.
Awesome, yeah, I love that show.
I found it to be extremely disturbing. I didn't make it past the first season.
It was, but I kind of like that stuff. Alright, so now we're going to climb up, complete our right-hand orbit. There's the gondola heading across, so that's included in your price of admission. You just walk through across and come back the other side. The redesign, they made it come from both sides instead of one side back and forth. The lines aren't as long. They actually ran a zip line across this gap. Wow. You can zip line from this concrete pillar right next to the gondolas out over to the visitor center. It's pretty neat. They have an amphitheater down there. You can see grass seating with the stage a big thing called the Sky Coaster. So see that big A-looking formation there? That's a big swing where they winch you up to that pole, launch you out over the edge. That one's pretty fun too.
Oh my gosh.
Then they have an old theater, gives you a lot of history of the area, and a barbecue joint down there. Now the only thing over here that's still not in operation is this vertical tram. That used to take you down those cars from visitor center down to the water level, but it was so badly fire damaged they have to replace the entire structure because it was melted and warped in a lot of sections.
Wow.
They were quoted between $9 and $11 million to replace it the way it is to today's standards. So I think instead what they're going to do is put in a cable-style gondola. It's less than a third of the cost and it's more fun of a ride anyway. So over the next few years, you can look for that to be replaced. All right, now we're going to start heading back northbound. So from here, you can see all the way up the south side of Pikes Peak. So that one's 14,115 feet above sea level. We're sitting steady at 7,000 feet above sea level. Still just about 300 feet above the ground.
Let's Herbie. Come on, baby, come on.
Go to mommy.
On our way back down here, we're just going to start to reduce power. Do these fun little S-turns back and forth.
Oh, okay, fine. Never mind.
So you can feel it start to descend down. Really fun approach. Come in over these zip lines. This is a rental house, thank goodness, because if someone lived there, they'd be tired of us. We'd have to come in here like 1,000 feet over the ground. Now we're getting down to about 100 feet over the ground, just down through 80 knots. As we come in over the highway, we'll have one more good left-hand turn. That'll set us up for final approach. Now we're just down through 60 knots. And we're coming in for landing.
This was great.
Yeah, isn't that a good way to start your day?
Subway.
Woohoo!
Now when you go on the train, they're going to give you a lot more of the history of what actually took place down at the water.